The Second World War had ended. Our planet was deeply scarred, yet hopeful for peace. However, a new kind of tension quickly emerged, dividing the globe. Two colossal superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, stood on opposing sides. Their ideologies, capitalism and communism, were locked in conflict. This was the Cold War. It was not fought with traditional armies. Instead, it was a struggle for influence and technological supremacy. Space became another arena for this rivalry. Humanity looked upwards, tinged with the anxieties of a divided world. The brilliant minds behind Germany's V-2 rocket program became highly sought-after prizes. Both America and the Soviet Union scrambled to recruit these scientists. Their knowledge was key to the next generation of rockets. Figures like Wernher von Braun, who had masterminded the V-2, found themselves working for their former enemies. These rockets, initially designed as weapons, paradoxically held the potential for peaceful exploration. The dreams of reaching for the stars were now entangled with national security. October 4, 1957. This date marks a pivotal moment in human history. On this day, the Soviet Union successfully launched Sputnik 1. It was a relatively small, polished metal sphere weighing just about 184 pounds. It carried a simple radio transmitter. As it circled the Earth, it emitted a steady, rhythmic beep. This was the first artificial satellite. For the first time, an object crafted by human hands was orbiting our planet. The cosmos, which had always seemed so distant and untouchable, had suddenly been reached. The implications of this single event were profound, sending ripples of astonishment and anxiety across the globe. The persistent beep 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 of Sputnik 1 was more than just a radio signal. It was a message. It was broadcast on frequencies that amateur radio operators around the world could pick up. The Soviet Union continued to achieve remarkable firsts, pushing the boundaries of space exploration at an astonishing pace. On April 12, 1961, they achieved another historic milestone. Cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the very first human being to journey into outer space. Strapped into his Vostok 1 spacecraft, he completed a single orbit of the Earth. His famous exclamation at liftoff, "Poyakali," meaning, "Let's go," resonated with the adventurous spirit of the moment. From his vantage point, Gagarin witnessed the breathtaking beauty of our planet, a fragile blue sphere suspended in the vast cosmic darkness. His 108-minute flight was an undeniable triumph for Soviet science and engineering. Yuri Gagarin was instantly catapulted to global fame. Section 4: The Lunar Gambit, Kennedy's audacious goal. The early years of the space race were dominated by a string of impressive Soviet successes. They launched Sputnik, the first satellite. They sent the first animal, the dog Laika, into orbit, though tragically she did not survive the mission. They achieved the first human spaceflight with Yuri Gagarin. Later, in 1965, cosmonaut Alexei Leonov performed the first-ever spacewalk, floating outside his Voskhod 2 spacecraft. These achievements put the United States in a clear second place. America needed a new, incredibly bold objective. It needed a goal so ambitious that it could potentially leapfrog the Soviets and capture the world's imagination. On May 25, 1961, just weeks after Alan Shepard's suborbital flight, President John F. Kennedy stood before a joint session of the United States Congress. He delivered a speech that would alter the course of human exploration. In it, he proposed a monumental and audacious challenge. Section 5: One Giant Leap, the Moon Landing. Following President Kennedy's challenge, NASA made remarkable progress. The Gemini program was a critical stepping stone to the Apollo missions. Gemini astronauts practiced vital skills for a moon journey. They mastered spacecraft rendezvous and docking. They undertook long-duration flights to understand weightlessness. They also performed challenging spacewalks. However, this period was marked by tragedy. The Apollo 1 fire in January 1967 claimed the lives of astronauts Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. This disaster led to vital safety improvements and renewed determination. The monumental effort culminated in the summer of 1969. On July 16, the colossal Saturn V rocket ignited its engines. It majestically lifted Apollo 11 off the launch pad. Aboard were Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Millions watched as the rocket ascended. On July 20th, the lunar module Eagle began its descent to the moon. Section 6: Beyond the Moon, Technological Harvest. The space race was far more than a geopolitical contest or a quest for lunar footprints. It acted as an incredibly powerful catalyst for scientific discovery and technological innovation. The immense challenges of sending humans to space and to the moon required solving problems that seemed insurmountable. This intense pressure to innovate led to a cascade of breakthroughs. Many of the technologies specifically developed for the Apollo program and other space missions found unexpected and valuable applications back on Earth. These spin-off technologies have improved our daily lives in countless, often unheralded ways. The vast investment in space exploration yielded returns that extended far beyond the initial goals of prestige and scientific knowledge. Consider the field of materials science. Spacecraft needed to be constructed from materials that were both incredibly lightweight and exceptionally strong, capable of withstanding extreme temperatures and stresses. This demand spurred the development of new metal alloys, advanced ceramics, and composite materials. Memory foam, now a common material in mattresses and pillows for its comfort and support, was originally developed by NASA to improve crash protection for astronaut seats. Section 7. Echoes in the Cosmos, the Enduring Legacy. Following the triumphant Apollo moon landings, the intense head-to-head nature of the space race began to diminish. The Apollo program itself concluded with Apollo 17 in December 1972. National budgets for space exploration, particularly in the United States, were significantly reduced as other domestic and international priorities took precedence. However, the profound legacy of this era of intense competition and extraordinary achievement continued to resonate. Gradually, the focus started to shift. From a relationship defined by fierce rivalry, a new spirit of cooperation in space exploration slowly began to emerge between the former adversaries. A significant symbolic moment in this transition occurred in July 1975 with the Apollo-Soyuz test project. An American Apollo spacecraft docked in Earth orbit with the Soviet Soyuz capsule. Astronauts and cosmonauts met, shook hands, shared meals, and conducted joint experiments. This mission, occurring at a time of ongoing Cold War tensions, was a powerful demonstration of how space